there's some things, there's some adverse effects. You know, my daughter was talking to me and she said she's going to school to be an RN, and she was talking to me about pharmaceuticals and things of that nature. But she told me when you take medication, she said there are side effects, number one, and there are adverse effects. They're different. Side effects and adverse effects are different. I never knew that. Side effects are common things that happen. Common things. You know, you might have a headache, you might get a belly ache, you might have diarrhea, you might throw up, you might, might get a little dizzy. She said those are common effects because a lot of people may have experienced those things from that particular medication. She said, but very seldom do they get this, but they have to let you know it has happened more times than not. And that is, you may die from this. That's an adverse effect. You may lose sight. She said things that usually, is not common. Those are adverse effects. I was like, really? So what are the adverse effects? I know what the common effects are for not thinking right and not trusting God. I know some of the common things. You're going to have to deal with some foolish stuff. You're going to have to deal with going through the thing over and over again. You're going to have to deal with taking the test again. The spiritual test, the trial, the tribulation. You have to go through that persecution until you get it right. But what are the adverse effects? Going to hell. That right there, going to hell. That's the biggie right there. Okay? Because you never believed to God. You got to this part where you had this stinking thinking, and it took you away from your foundation. You ended up doing something totally contrary. You walked away. You walked away from God because of the fact of thinking stinking. So I want you to know today that Isaiah 26 said that you'll be in perfect peace. You want to know what perfect peace is? Keep on thinking about God. Day and night, night and day. Read your Bible, quote scriptures, sing songs. Just keep him before you.